Hey, Empathic Healers, our journal prompt for the day. Do you feel worthy of having everything you need? So welcome, Self-Care Challenge. Talking today about emotions and sacral chakra energy. So in this video, I will guide you along the journaling process to check in with yourself to increase your self-awareness, assess your energy, and align with the source of unconditional love. Again, and welcome to the self-love movement. It is my deepest belief if we all loved ourselves enough, suicide wouldn't be a thing. Which is why, right, we are doing this journaling process. We are taking time for ourselves. We are checking in to make sure we're good. When we're not doing good, we dig in a little deeper. We hold a little more space for ourselves. We take care of us. Again, my name is Robin Knott. I teach energy healing methods with that strong focus on self-care, self-worth, and self-love in order to break old patterns of codependency, empowering you to be your authentic self. If you are familiar with codependencies, I believe also that many just aren't sure what that means. And I keep saying I might do a video on it, huh? I've done a couple in my Facebook group. Been a while, but I've done some on my Facebook group to kind of touch and scratch the surface of codependent patterns. And the idea is not to label, right? Not blame, shame, guilt, label, whatever, beat ourselves down. But it's just looking at it, being real and honest with ourselves. And if we have one of those patterns or many patterns, because they're all conditions and programs, right? Then we call it out, we recognize it, we allow it into our awareness so we can break free from it because they're not serving you. Excuse me, they don't serve the highest. They serve the ego very well, all too well, but not the highest. So with all that being said, grab your journals, journal with me, ready to go deeper, because I always like to try to dig it deeper, right? It's just my thing. But again, allows for more to come up into our awareness. So let me check my journal. Just another recap. If you are new to me, literally for journaling, I write down the question. So the question of, do you feel worthy? To find it. Do you feel worthy of having everything you need? And then I wait for my answers. And there's usually more than one answer. And sometimes the thoughts that come into mind are kind of out in left field, make no sense. It's fine. Write them anyway. Just part of the way that the brain processes, right? So what came up as I was going through, more questions, which usually do. But again, reflecting back on, so just yesterday, right, we talked about our beliefs. So believing we're worthy of having everything that we need. And how we believe directly affects our emotions. So if you think about the chakras, the root chakra being at the base of the spine, the sacral chakra just above it, right? The energy is flowing up and down and all around. So whatever our beliefs are in our root chakra are directly going to affect our emotions in each situation. So this one focusing on having everything we need. Then of course it came up of needs versus wants. And then we talked about values and priorities. So if you didn't check out that video, you may want to go check that one out. And we talked about the exercise, that activity, right, of writing down your 10 top values and putting them in order of priority. And then where do you fit in and where do these things fit in? So your needs being met. And again, deciding then on to what degree in a sense. So food is a priority, it's a need, it's a basic human need. But then what type of food? Because if we talk about processed food and the health effects from eating processed food, and no blame, shame, or guilt, because not like I haven't eaten it and still sometimes do, right? But is that having our need met versus eating healthier foods, trying to maintain overall well-being, right? And mind, body, and soul. To eat healthier foods so that we don't have those effects from processed foods. Is that a need? Because that might cost more and it has less of a shelf life, right, than processed foods. So you'd have to buy more often. Do you? So is there any challenges in those beliefs? Do you feel any challenges or like shifts in your energy when you start to expand on that a little bit? What is your need, right? And this is what you believe for you, which could have been, I mean, we all learn it from somewhere. We all have an experience or a perspective of it in some way, and then how we define it and tweak it and internalize it and hold on to it, right? But just making those connections, whatever that belief is for you, will directly affect your emotions. Then also, I just lost my thought. So, what we think we believe versus what we show. Did I mention that? Our actions. Our actions come from our beliefs. And this is where I feel like this is where a great point of where we can challenge some of our beliefs or challenge ourselves, because I fully, in having this conversation, right? First things that come to mind, yes, of course, and I fully deserve, you fully deserve to have your needs met, to have everything that you need, right? All of you, all of us do. Do our actions back that up? So, do we always allow ourselves to spend the money on the healthier foods, the more expensive things? Do you always, right, spend the money, take the time, do the thing so that you have everything that you need? Mm, maybe not. You're okay. Maybe not, right? So then there's where's the contrast? Where's the conflict? What's going on with that? Because we have other beliefs too, and we have other values too, right? So, what is it that is maybe shifting or deterring us from? But the point being is the true belief, the one that's rooted in the root chakra, isn't what we think it is. It's based on our actions. So that's where we get to challenge them, like, and then we get to replace it and change it and fix it. Because if we're seeing that our actions are presenting something that's different than what we think we believe, then what we could say is, no, I really believe it. So why am I doing something different? We just need to clear out some old stuff, right? We need to break away those old patterns. And that's where your journaling comes in. My mind went like 100 different directions because it's different for each of us. So that's where this comes in for you. And this is personalized and designed for you. So to answer those questions, I'll leave you to journal on that on your own, right? Let me see what else I can throw in there for us. So, sacrificing your needs, right? So, we talk about some of those values and prioritizing those values, and where do you fit in those values and those priorities? So, is there times that you sacrifice what you need so others can have what they want? Now, I get it. When you're doing need versus need, I get it. That can be more challenging, right? Because we all deserve to have our needs met. So I can see where we start to adjust and shift to help others. I'm not going to squash that either, because we are a collective as well, right? I don't ever think that self-care and self-love has to be like selfish, where we tell people to buzz off or we stop helping our fellow human, right? But we don't completely deny self either. So that's the point of this. And we definitely don't want to start to blend, or what's the word I'm looking for? Cloud, maybe, the need versus want. Because you don't need to give up your need to satisfy somebody's want. There's no balance in that. There's no justification in that, right? Hey, Matthew. Matthew says, great job, Robin. Miss you. I miss you too. How are you? I don't know if you're still here. So if not, I'm sorry I missed your comment. I just saw it come on. Good to see you. Matthew and I used to work together. Thanks for hopping on here. So again, don't give up your needs for someone else's wants, right? Again, that's not a balance. We have to work on those boundaries, which we're doing in the Empathic Healers Masterclass. So if you haven't signed up for that and you want that link, let me know in the comments and I'll get that for you. Again, we talked a little bit about how we define those needs, right? What are our needs versus what are our wants, and then to what degree. And then what else? So emotions too. So what about taking care of you and your emotional state, right? Because sometimes we try to put those aside or we minimize those, but our mental and physical health, if we don't take care of our emotions, will manifest in dis-ease. So I said that a little twisted, but if you don't take care of your emotional health, it will manifest in physical and mental dis-ease. So that is also a basic need that I think we as humans often disregard, right? Or we put it aside, or we minimize it, or we justify it, or blah, 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 blah. And you, I, are responsible for our own, right? So when I am feeling like overwhelmed or something, then it's up to me to do what I need to do to manage that feeling of overwhelm, to get rid of that, right? When you are feeling stressed, anxious, overwhelmed, it's up to you to say whatever it is that you need to take that break, to take that time to do your journaling, right? Whatever it may be, meditation, mindfulness, to address your emotions. So that brought me back to that idea of, or concept of, is it mine? Because everybody has emotions, right? And everybody has emotional health, and everybody needs to take care of their emotions. So whose responsibility is it? And sometimes, especially when we're in situations of like being a caregiver, you start to wonder, our close relationships, like, is it my responsibility? And sometimes you really have to ask yourself that, right? Check in, is this mine? And if it's not, release it. Refocus inward. What is yours? And you take care of that, right? So yeah, as an example, I look after my mom. Now there's, to some degree, I'm trying to help her out because that's the role I took on. But there's another degree that I have to then detach from, right? There's some things that has going on that she's dealing with. It's not mine. I can't fix it. And it's not up to me to fix it, right? So in your relationships, knowing where that balance is, that boundary in a sense is, right? And again, we're not telling people to buzz off. We're not trying to be helpful or not lending a supportive ear. We're just not trying to fix it, right? We have to be responsible for our own, and other people are responsible for their own. And then trusting and allowing them the space to do it. We can hold space with them or for them, or whatever terms you want to use there. But you have to take care of you too. And then let's see, what else? Check on the journal again. I was writing down different ways of taking care of our emotions. Having fun is one of those, right? I had a lot of fun today, so that was very nice. My granddaughter's here. Beautiful. Beautiful. And yeah, I think we covered it. Anything further, I definitely recommend that you continue on your journaling process to see what comes up for you. And if you have any questions, again, as always, drop them in the comments. Let me know. Come on the masterclass. Let me know in the comments if you want that link, and I'll get it for you if you haven't already. And what else? Check in with yourself, continue your journaling, increase your self-awareness, right? Assess your energy, see if it is in alignment with the source of unconditional love. And if it's not, what is an action step that you can take to get into alignment with the source of unconditional love, which is this journaling process, right? It might be meditation, it might be mindfulness, it might be holding space to allow yourself to feel the feelings you need to feel. That's action. That's great action. And then, of course, meet me back here tomorrow, and we will talk about spelling out the word self-care, love, self-image, so meeting ourselves with love and compassion, and the solar plexus chakra. So take good care of you. Thank you to all who hopped on the live and on the replay, and I will see you soon. So much love. Bye, guys.